Yes. Hello, guys. Good morning. It is the 19th of the 8th, 2019, 10:26 a.m. London time. I hope you're feeling fantastic. Hope you're feeling good. Hope you're feeling rejuvenated. Hope you're feeling calm, patient, explorative, strategizing, etc. Every good quality you can have this week. And I hope you've rested well this weekend. So we're going to look at the market this morning. I've been sitting in front of my computer for quite a few hours now, trying to condense my bias and kind of wash away any preconceived notions I have about the market so I can be best prepared for what's coming up. And my bias is condensed, right? So I'm going to present to you right now what I have concluded. Please take it with a pinch of salt. And it's none of its financial advice. BTC, I'm going to start from lower time frames to upper time frames, and you'll see why in a minute. So BTC, for me, resistance is right here. But why am I not looking to short that resistance, and why do I think it's going to go higher? Yes, I think it's going to go higher. Why? Right? Why? Everyone, all the paid group leader junkies are shorting here, right? This is where the paid group leader junkies are shorting. What I mean by that is ideas are a liquid, and once a few big accounts post this, the smaller paid groups, they will also nick these ideas, and these ideas circulate, and it becomes the retail narrative, right? When I say paid groups, we also are a paid group, but what I actually mean is the bigger ones or the newer ones, right? Where ideas circulate, where they don't have barriers on how they give their ideas out, right? There's a reason why I don't give my ideas out to public, is because I know the illiquidity in this space. So, also, right, that's not the only reason, God forbid. This seems to me to be painting what I often consider a 1-2 step, right? So you have an impulse, and I didn't want to believe that this was happening this morning, but it looks to me as if it is. You have an impulse, right? You have a retracement, you have an impulse, you have a retracement, and then you have a larger impulse and you have a retracement. What this seems to me to be doing is this 1-2 step movement that I have categorized many times in previous videos that have ultimately worked, right? And I learned this a while ago, and it cost me a lot to learn this lesson. I think that this is going to move first up to 10.9, but more probably up to around 11.2, right? So 11 to 11.2 is the target. I think we do something like this. Wham, 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 right? Am I looking to trade BTC? Difficult one. We've taken a trade, and I'm satisfied right now. If I can see this move back down to 10.550 before it heads to 10.9, that is when I'll be looking to take a long. So this is the area, 10.6 to 10.550, and this is where I'm looking for longs this morning. And what's the setup? Setup is very simple, very conclusive, very easy to digest, right? It's like apple and banana. This 10.550 to a long trade to around 11.260. Looking to see how this formulates in this area to take a long. Wham, 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 right? Not interested in longing BTC, right? If it just takes off from here, really not interested. More interested in spending that time and energy into analyzing, strategizing alts, thinking slow in order to catch higher time frame movements. So then, let's zoom out and look at a higher picture. This is vital. Let's be clear on what I'm looking for, right? And I will recap over this. So we have this meme line. Forgive me for how it's drawn, right? You're going to have to... I'm not a trend line fan. They are very useful for confluence, but taking them too seriously can get you in hot water. But we are squeezing, right? We are squeezing. And I'm not going to comment on this pivot up to here. I just don't know what that is, right? I just do not know. What I'm going to comment on is that there's confluence up here, with three things, with FOMO shorters coming in, with bearish sentiment, and of course this triangle. And also, you know, if we just spend a long time consolidating in here, that's where alt season kicks off, right? That's where alt season kicks off. So I can't see, right, put it this way, I cannot see alt season kicking off while BTC is ripping upwards, right? But I can see alt season kicking off while BTC is slowly bleeding down and moving sideways. What does that mean? And this is very important for my entire bias, is that I think alt season kicks in after the retracement of this movement here, right? Does that make sense? That is vital. That is vital. Because what signs do we want to look for? You know, when does BTC dominance fall? It falls when we're moving sideways, okay, in consolidation or down slowly. BTC dominance rarely falls if we're moving up with some kind of speed or intraday, intra-week. We are very bullish. Not looking for scalps here, guys. I'm not looking for scalps, more for accumulation than anything. So with that said, we now have to take a look at BTC dominance to understand what kind of confluence we're looking for. So this is the second point. We need, or I need, you may need this to start forming lower lows. The influx of money coming into Bitcoin is dying off, right? You can see that. I think this represents money. Please forgive me if I'm wrong. I think that represents the amount of money flowing into BTC in accordance to dominance, right? So this maybe cannot be TA'd in classical style. But what we can do is we can just simply get resistance. We can simply get support. And what we want to do is assess for a mean break. MEAIN, right? What do we see really in mean breaks? We want to see a high traded through, and we want to see something different. I don't see something different. I see series of higher lows, right, and a series of higher highs. I think once we trade through this area, 68.62 that held us previously, and retest it and fail, I think there is where we can see alt season kick in. And please take that with a pinch of salt, because look, we've had that before where volume for this just drops off, and then what? Wham, we pump off, we leave everyone wrecked, everything fucks up, people crying because they're left holding alt bags, yeah? So this is really not that useful, but it's useful in one circumstance, and that's when we have confluence with two other things. So let's look at total 2. And let's check this total 2 bias. So, fuck's sake, man. This just doesn't save my charts. It's seriously annoying. Okay, leave. Right, we have here this weekly resistance for total 2. And what I feel is if we can creep back above there, right, we have a chance to pump between 32 and 23%. I think that's the window, right? We're trying to find where the window is. That is where the window is for me, right? Confirmation window. However, if we can move back down here and double bottom, or take out this low and see volume arise, I will be a buyer, right? Is that understood? So we have this impulse forming for the total 2 cap, 1, 2, 3. Now, I'm going to show you this bias with Ethereum. You'll understand what I mean for the double bottom in a minute, right? You'll understand what I mean. But I'm looking for this to be retested, taken out, or double bottom. Either one of those. If we double bottom, it will be clear because the double bottom has had a rejection, high volume. If we take it out and base out here, it will be clear. You'll see high volume. And yeah, that's it, right? And if we don't do any of those and we start to move above here, it will be clear because you will see majors break out. So that's confluence piece number 1. Confluence piece number 2 is with majors that are looking to lead, and this is something that is looking to lead for me. So ignore this FOMO chart right here. What do I want to see with BTC? Let's look at this. With Ethereum, sorry. All right, so Ethereum itself, it's like a maze, this whole thing. Ethereum itself has 2 pieces of confluence that I'm looking for. And we have 2 triggers with Ethereum, right? Trigger equals 2, right? Number 1, we have breakout trigger. 2, we have accumulation or early entry trigger. And I'm not playing the mid-range, okay? You understand what I mean. I'm not playing if we don't break out or we don't hit where I want to see. I'm not playing that range. There's way too much sentiment in this range for me to want to get caught up right now, right? Because I'm looking to employ large amounts of capital, I have to be certain that the trend is moving. So, yes, here is where Ethereum is very crowded, and I'm not looking to buy where people are crowding this, right? Yeah, Ethereum is crowded from 170 to 160, right? 170 to 160, right here. Sentiment is my leading bias. Buyers are waiting for that area, right? They're waiting for just below 170, 170 exactly. Very important. To enter into Ethereum early, what I would like to see is I would like to see us double bottom right here with a volume increase, or I'd like to see us quickly take this out and retrace back up, right? This is what I was talking about with the double bottom narrative, right? Either that, or we form a high over a pivotal high, right? We form a high over a pivotal high. This is the pivotal high. This is the next pivotal high. And, you know, there is a good scope from here to here, right? It's a very decent amount. It's a 33%. Well, lo and behold, we had the same thing in total 2. Do you remember? Just 2 minutes ago, we had the same percentage mark in total 2. So that is what I'm looking for in regards to Ethereum, to play Ethereum. I think if we move back down to 186, it's a decent, you know, cue to start accumulating. Volume is dropping off severely, right? So we have 1, accumulation trigger here, number 2, breakout trigger, and 3, patience, right? Patience in this range, because macro, we're not building up. Notice how I'm not talking about scalping. As said, I'm not interested in scalping. Now, with Ethereum, we have a second part to the puzzle, which is this pair. And the BTC pair is actually looking rather bullish, right? It's looking very bullish. Why? Because we're having 3-day divergence here, and obviously mean switch is starting to change. It's not changed quite yet, but there is the buy signal, is when this MACD 3-day starts to move over, or we get a break and hold of this pivot here, right here, okay? So, yep. On the daily, if we can move above here and we have confluence, what we're looking for, we're not just looking for a daily break, we need confluent factors to come in, right? MACD cross, total 2, Bitcoin dominance, something else leading, sentiment, shorts. You know, it's not a vacuum. It's not a vacuum. For me, you know, this is my bias today. It's for ETH BTC, confluence is a move back above here. And, you know, if we do that, I think we don't just stop right here. I think we move all the way. And lo and behold, we have 33% once again. 33%, 33%, 33%. 333 is the number for today, right? Is the number. Okay, so that, you know, I'll go over specific alts by themselves, but I wanted to show you guys an overview of how I'm looking at altcoins. You're going to have to digest this yourself if you really want to be able to play these things effectively. I've done my job as far as analysis goes, but as far as pulling the trigger, I'll let you know if I do and when I pull the trigger, and you're really going to have to digest this by yourself. So then let's look at a few other sentiment points for this morning. A lot of you are kicking off this morning. You know, I missed the pump. Guys, we've died from 370 to 177. You haven't missed shit right now, yeah? You haven't missed anything. You know, if anything, all I want to highlight is that we have resistance at 199, at 1 and 232, right? If you don't buy once we move above 232 and we confirm movement above there, then you're missing, right? Then you're missing, right? You might as well be called Madeline McCann at that point. But at this point, right, you're at resistance. If you look at a Ripple, and bear in mind, this can change, right? This can absolutely change. If you look at Ripple, what's Ripple? Our resistance. What's that? Also, weekly resistance, right? Ripple, I'm not interested in. I do hold a long bag. I'm not hiding away from that. It's pretty not in the money right now, right? It was in the money at 3.3. It's pretty wrecked. But I'm not holding that for a few months. That's being held until if we get a next alt season. That was a bet, right? That was a bet that we get another alt season. That's what it was, right? A big term one, right? If you're putting a bet down the horses that one wins and one loses, that's what it was, right? And that's I still hold key with that. This is a resistance. A lot of the other major altcoins are resistance. I mean, if you want to look at their weekly perspectives as well, they're not entirely bullish yet, right? So we got bearish closes on the weeklies. And unfortunately, turn on the line graph, we just don't have bullish momentum on the weekly yet, guys, right? On nothing. Bitcoin included. Yes, 173 is a support. You do realize if we take that stop there and move back up quickly, I'm going in balls deep. So yes, I've been through BTC dominance, I've been through the two-step parabola, I've been through paid groups and what they're looking at. I've been through my bias with BTC, and I've been through what I want to see. So I'm just going to go over confirmation, brief overview of this entire thing. Number one, BTC moving to 10.9 and favor 12, 1. Number 2. What am I talking about? Okay. Looking for confluence in BTC Dom and Total 2, which I don't see right now to play alts. Number 3. Patience in this macro range. Looking to take advantage of bigger swings, not this intraday noise. Number 4. Volume is a key indicator for me. Number 5. Not interested in longing BTC unless moved back to mid 10.5s. Number 6. Going balls deep in altcoins if we get a double bottom with higher volume or quick boy stop run, right? So if we run those stops quickly, I'm in. And impulse break, right? On the confirmation side, I want to see a move over significant resistance for alts, something to lead volume as stated, BTC pairs to move. There is, and this is all from my own mind right now, so you know I've digested this well, and you should be able to recall your strategy very quickly because you can't implement it otherwise. There is a 30%, 3% move now on confirmation, 50% move on accumulation. So the difference between accumulation and confirmation at current is 33% versus 50%, right? That's what I'm looking at. So you're looking to sacrifice 17% for being in the confirmation party, and you're looking to gain 17% extra for moving on accumulation. So what's the lesson of that? The lesson is it may be good to position yourself somewhere in the middle. But for me, you know, I am accumulating a few things, but as far as Ethereum goes, I haven't entered a dime yet. I haven't entered absolutely anything. And I'll be highlighting the alts I'm looking at in high detail shortly later today, but I wanted to just get a market overview of what I think. So I think BTC is going higher intra-week. I think we move close to 11K, 11.2. I think alts have a little bit further to base out. I need to see a bit more horizontal clarity, and I want to see either BTC pairs breaking out, dominance breaking out, stops run or volume, or all four of them at the same time. You know, if I see all four of them at the same time, I'll probably go all in terms of exposure to the entire market. I'll be looking to take 3 or 4 positions on all coins if those signs are there, right? I don't move until I see them. It's that simple. It's less stress, it's more money and more safety. All right, guys, I hope you digested that well. I hope that was helpful for you guys today. This triangle is what I'm looking at. The last thing I want to touch on is you'll say, sir, you didn't look at the weekly. I didn't look at the weekly because the weekly is really not helpful to me right now. Marginally lower low into a block support, but we moved through support. Volume's dying off. We're in this extended consolidation. Shorts are starting to rack up. Everyone is bearish. For me, as far as the macro time frame goes, I think that we're in a parabola. You have to be very careful about being bearish in a parabola. I think that we base out a little more and then wham, right? The obvious thing. And I think that we will see this narrative come through. So we will see this base out here, but the only difference is we're in a bull market this time, not a bear market, right? So people come in short. And I don't know if you were a market maker on exchanges. I don't know if you were just some evil motherfucker who had so much money that could pay Twitter influencers. You had bots and whatever. You could circulate this narrative, right? You could circulate that narrative. Oh, we're going down. We are going down, down because of this fractal. Wham! Liquidity's built up. Bam! The exchanges don't have to spend money to pump BTC. They use retail money to pump BTC. And guys, if you don't think that happens, it happens, right? It happens. Going off on a bit of a tangent now, but that's really, the simplistic. I'm sorry to take the meme outlook on BTC, but it's the one that's most confluent with what I'm seeing right now. Thank you for tuning in today, guys. The altcoin video will be coming briefly and separately. Have a nice day. Peace.